Sunday night being over, but I've come to give you soft landing into the end of the night and a new week. If you're like me, you're tired. Tired because everyone's got an October birthday. I did a tour of October birthdays last night. Me, I'm over mine. I turned 41, and I don't believe that you should be having a big birthday every year. I went hard in the paint last year in Rio, so this year my friends fed me meat, and off to sleep I went. But then last night, I went to a bunch of birthday parties. I'm actually filing an appeal to see if I can move my birthday to May, just to make it a little easier on everyone else. What's up, Bro Bible? What's up, Bravo Andy? This is actually better than Alec. I'm not going to finish that. If you think this is better than Alec Baldwin's ABC show, those are your words. Those aren't mine. I just want to remind you, we have no advertisers. This set is about to fall apart. It's held together with screws from guitar amplifiers. But it's made with love. It's made with love. Let's see what's going on out there. How's everybody doing? Talk to me. You know, people in the past have accused me of having a self-centered Instagram Live. To which I reply, what else would I do? How can I be generous to you on an Instagram Live? In fact, let's do that now. Let's turn it over to you guys. Would you like me to take it back now? Okay, I'm back. Anyway, I got to tell you something. When I started this idea for the show, I thought it was going to be like just something I could pawn off at the end of a Sunday. Like maybe as the sun started to go down, I would start thinking about my show. This is now a 36-hour endeavor. And the funniest thing is me racing to go to the bathroom to like make it back to the phone before 8. When all of this is completely made up. It's just completely made up. So let's get to the show. I'd like to do a PSA. I think that my show has a voice. I'd like to use this voice for a moment to PSA for you. As we go into the cold, dry winter months, I'd like to give you a PSA on lip balm. Don't do it! Don't even start! Don't look at it. Don't put the first one on thinking it's just a one-hitter. It's not. Don't do it. Don't fall into the bottomless pit of moisture. Don't do it. You can hold out. You can hold out this year. Put it on once, and you will be a slave to it for the whole rest of the year. Is that what you want? You want to travel around with a tube of Kiehl's in your pocket, have the lid come off, and all of a sudden a lot of pocket dirt and dust gets in the threading of the screw? Is that what you want? You don't want that. You don't want to walk around with oily pants. You go, I went into my pants for a coin. I've come out with a handful of cocoa butter because the lid screwed off. And now that should be trouble enough. Go to put the lid on, doesn't go on because it got nothing but pocket lint inside. You don't need any of it. To speak nothing of how dry your lips will become. Stay off it. Stay off it. Don't do it. Guys, we're only 6 minutes in, and there's a lot. There's a lot coming at you. There's a lot coming at you. I thought in my mind this would be sort of like a Regis and Kathy Lee sort of opening where I would talk about what Joy and I did this weekend. But I don't have a Joy, and I'm nowhere near a Regis. So let's carry on with the show. Now, I know that I've advertised a musical guest, but in the meantime, this is a friend of mine. This is someone that I've come to admire very much. She is going to be a surprise guest. We're going to bring her out right now, but I'm gonna start with a clip. No. Yes, I am. She's an extremely talented, great, funny writer and actress. In fact, we'll show a clip when she sits down. Please welcome the one and only Miss Kazzy David. Kazzy, everybody give it up. This is always what guys. You have to sit first, and then.
I'm sorry, everyone, that I've entered the frame.
Actually,
I don't talk about myself that much, so it'll really be like I'm not here.
You're about to. Would you like a wisp?
Yeah, okay. I'll take a wisp. I haven't had one of these since I was like 17.
They don't go that far back. They're a pretty new product.
I don't really like. So that doesn't seem good for you. What's in there?
Yeah, but neither is a Listerine strip. That's a weird product.
Are you gonna pop yours?
Oh yeah,
You pop immediately.
Yep, that lets the cyanide through.
I really never thought I'd be wisping on Instagram Live with John Mayer, but
here we are. I think a wisp is too new a product to have a childhood memory.
What if someone
about it.
says something so awful about me and I just have to read it and then sit with my own thoughts?
Does anybody have does anyone have a bone to pick with Cassie David? Anybody want to air a grievance right now with Cassie David? Let it out. I see nothing but smiley faces.
Let me just say that I'm wearing double denim just so I could look like more of a celebrity next to you, because I feel like celebrities are the only ones who can pull it off.
Well, you can.
So I don't wear double denim like all the time. It was just something I did for today.
I wouldn't worry about
To
it.
pretend.
I think you look good. And everyone's doing double denim this year. And you're getting nothing but smiley faces.
Do you look at
She's
yourself
pretty.
in this, or do you look at the
Sometimes.
comments?
She's pretty. They want you to come to Brazil.
Okay, okay.
Lisa Frank. Look, it's Lisa Frank. Lisa Frank giving you... Lisa Frank laughing so hard she's crying.
I wouldn't even go on my own Instagram Live because it's such a risk.
Well, you know why you're on this one? It's
Live.
because you've come to trust the founder of the show. You've come to trust the history of the show. Just like a Wisp, it's long storied history. It's a lot to rely on. It'll take care of you. And the show itself, I mean, we have over 2 weeks of history on this show. We've proven ourselves, I think.
Thank God I'm like only your second guest, because like the fifth one's gonna be like Tom Hanks.
I don't know. Well, you know what? Depending on how this goes, maybe we can get to Hanks in 2 more shows.
Does anyone know what your set actually is? Because it's amazing.
And my set
This is a poster board, and
Yeah.
and the table's a cardboard box.
Yeah, they're speaker boxes. By the way, do you think that Tom Hanks would accept the Wisp? He would do something amazingly funny with the Wisp that we can't think
He
of.
has like a 5-minute bit on.
He would do 5 solid funny minutes with a Wisp and put us all to shame. Now, you and I talked before. We did a pre-interview. Is that right?
I would call it that. Maybe.
We did a pre-interview. You said you said basically you're going to steer, and I said I love it. So what do you have now for this segment?
So I have some questions I think that everyone wants to ask you that they don't have the opportunity to ask, or they just can't because they're personal. But I feel like we're close enough friends where like I can ask the questions for everyone else.
Okay.
And if you guys have any better ones, totally throw them out there. I can't look at these.
They're saying great pose is what she has.
It's like, I can't look.
Popcorn emoji.
I hope you
Everyone's
don't
saying
mind.
yeah. Everyone's saying go for it.
Some of the questions are on my phone, but I feel like this is an Instagram show, so we can be on our
Please,
phones and
this
we can.
is-
It's technology based.
Yeah, this set is not going into the Smithsonian after this.
Okay.
Not going next.
So we can start with my game. We can start with the questions. Maybe we should warm up with the game.
Okay.
I
Well, would
brought
think you
a
would-
game.
Okay.
John told me to come with bits. I don't have any bits, so I had to think of some on the spot.
Great. Well, I don't have a
So-
crack team of writers. I think of it on the spot too.
So, in honor of John's birthday, I think we should play a game called Who's Older, John or Blank?
Okay. We got who's older? Who's older?
Thank you so much.
Who's older than John?
So let's go with the first one, and you guys, I don't know what this is, but you answer. We'll see who they think, and you
Okay.
can know for yourself what people think about
Got it.
your age versus someone else's.
Got it.
John Mayer or who's older? John Mayer or John Legend?
That's actually a good question. Let's see what people say. Who's older? Mayor or Legend?
John Mayer or Wisps?
They put an H in there. That's fancy. John is always older.
Yeah, that's true.
Old,
We're going to move on to the next one. because-
Legend. They're saying Legend. Mayor. Okay, 50-50. JM. They say I'm older. That's 2 for me. 3 for me. 3-2.
It's hard. It's a hard
Mayor.
one.
4-2. 5. Okay, now most
They
people
both
think
have
I'm
had
old.
long careers.
Yes.
People might think he's older because he's married with a kid. But
Well, thanks.
John Mayer is actually older than John Legend.
We all move at our own pace, Cassie. I just wanted to know that.
Okay, I'll only do 2 more. Because
You know what would be really weird? If, like, I was singing to a baby in a Pampers commercial, but I didn't have a kid. Like, you have to have a kid of your own to
be in a
do
commercial
a
about
Pampers
kids.
commercial.
Yeah.
What if I was just like, hey, Pampers had the money, and I was singing, somebody's got a stinky boot, and they're like, is this your baby? I'm like, I have no kids.
It's good you have no kids because this wall is for not a parent.
No. Why? Oh, I forgot to turn the lights on this wall. Oh, we'll do it next week.
It's stuffed animals on a wall. It's a little
It is a catchy song, Somebody's Got a Stinky Booty. And I know it sounds like I'm making fun of it, but I'm not, because it is really catchy. But I'm just saying, it is a funny bit
Do
if
you
I'm
think you'd ever do a little jingle?
Okay,
Commercial?
I think having kids lets you do really fun shit with the cover being like, it's my kid's favorite character. So, John, you played the big toe in DreamWorks' Foot. And it'd be like, why did you voice the big toe? And I could be like, my son is such a fan of the Foot series. He was like, Daddy, you have to be the big toe and get $4 million for doing the voice in sweatpants in Westwood for 3 days. Once you have a kid, you can be like, my kid insisted on it. It seems like it's pretty lucrative.
It's a great excuse.
It seems like it's pretty lucrative.
A kid's an excuse for life.
It's lucrative if you're into voice work.
Okay.
This game is
Who's
a
older?
smash. Keep going.
John Mayer or Kanye West?
These are like really on the edge.
Lisa Frank. Yeah.
Dad styles suck when you're a new dad. Yeah, Mr. Mort very sold on the style of
You
things.
guys really only answers for the question.
Yeah, please keep the line open, please. People are saying Kanye. I think I know the answer to this.
Kanye by a few months.
So Jake Wolf knows this.
Okay,
Jake Wolf is
that was cheating, but they
well,
are
it's
the
not
same
cheating
age.
if somebody knows the answer.
John Mayer or cell phones? Who's older?
That's incredible. I knew, by the way, you are one of the funniest people I know. I knew you didn't just come here to do people. This is going to get really fun. I'm going to, can I answer? Now I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, like, because you know with technology, they're always like, oh, the CD was invented in 1941. It didn't come out for like 80 years. My math is off. I'm going to say that the cell phone is technically older than me. I feel like the cell phone was probably developed in the 60s.
What do you guys think? I've never thought I'd be someone to be like, and what are you guys thinking?
But you're pretty good at it. When you forget to be worried about everything, you're really good at it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You have to be really ignorant to do this.
And I am.
Mayer's older than cell phones. Actually, cell phones are just a couple years older than John Mayer.
I knew
just
it.
by a little bit. Just a touch.
How old were you when you got your first cell phone?
So
That's your first cell phone right there?
My parents didn't let me get a cell phone for a really long time. So I actually made a brochure for why they should let me get the T-Mobile Sidekick, because I thought that was like the coolest accessory ever.
And it was in its day. Everyone
really
had a
cool.
sidekick. There was a moment where everyone had a sidekick, and it was just it wasn't a self-respecting piece of technology, but it's all there was. And so, like, for a minute...
No,
like,
it was the Sidekick or the Razor.
Yeah, titans of industry want a sidekick.
Yeah.
Which is really weird. Now you're my sidekick.
Hey.
Well, listen. In the Huffington Post world, John Mayer is Cassie David's sidekick. Let's just get that one thing straight. I'm her sidekick.
What, can you explain? He needs a translator a lot of the time. He speaks in a lot of metaphors. I can't be his translator because I am too dumb.
Well, you know how, like, you're not allowed to say anymore that, like, Amal Clooney is George Clooney's wife? You have to say that George Clooney is Amal Clooney's husband? I'm just trying to curry favor.
Oh, okay. I get what you're...
I'm trying to
we
curry...
all understand now. That was a great explanation.
Trying to curry favor with Huffington Post by saying...
That was a perfect example.
I am merely just a gnat on your shoulder when you are here on this show.
Well, I did, just back to the cell phone thing, they didn't let me get one. So I started to sell gum at school because gum was, like, illegal at school. So it was kind of like drugs. Like, it was kind of like a drug dealer. But I was a gum dealer.
I did that with blow pops.
The kids love candy.
I bought my first wah pedal with the money that I made. I bought my first wah pedal in quarters that I made selling blow pops. It was 25 cents each.
25 cents for a blow pop.
$5 for $1.
That's a steal.
Sour apples were always the first to go. Kids love disgusting tasting things. Sour apple was the first to go. It is an adventurous kind of thrill-seeking flavor.
Yeah.
And so I know what it's like. We're both very, capitalistic.
I
that
would
way.
sell some Haichu. Remember that?
Do I remember
the mango
Haichu?
Haichu?
Yeah.
Guys?
I know the whole history of Haichu. Do you know the Haichu?
Why? Why do you know the whole history?
Because I
of
Google
Haichu?
everything I like. I'm an arduous Googler. And Haichu, actually, you know, like, you can see, like, you can tell how messed up someone's life is based on the header of their Wikipedia thing. So it'd be like early career, and it'd be like present, it'd be like private life, and it'll just be like a controversy, DNA controversy. It'd be like, what is
So
this?
this is like your own Wikipedia.
This is true. Okay, hold on. No. If you want me to, I can get the history of Haichu's. Hold on a second. I can do this. This is a clip from your show.
I'm so glad we're past that.
Well, I don't.
I
you know
honestly
what?
came in with the intention of distracting you so you wouldn't play the clip.
Do you trust me to tell you the history of Haichu? The history of Haichu, one of one of its darkest hours, is that a factory worker was having lunch and he dropped.
Is this real?
This is why, if you want me to look it up, I'm happy to look it up.
Tell me.
By the way, will someone look this up and tell us later on? A factory worker was enjoying lunch and dropped some of its like foie gras or something into the vat.
They're the craziest stories in the factory.
This is 100% true. The president of Morinaga, the parent company of Haichu,
so nuts.
issued a statement. Apologize. I mean, the company, but this is also a Japanese company. Great dishonor was brought to the Haichu people. Also, a rubber glove was dropped into the vat whilst Haichu was being made. This was a stain on the company's record, and to this day, I think is a dark cloud that hovers over the Haichu people. I might not know how to get out of that story, but it doesn't mean it's any less real. Can anybody? John, you are all... Oh, I thought it said, John, you are right. It says, John, you are all right. Well, you just got to trust me. Tachiro Morinaga, he's probably the one who...
Why do you think people just comment, like, hello? Like, what is that doing for any of us?
I think they just want to...
Just put their name to the universe?
It's like a CB radio. You know, when I had a CB radio growing up, I would just talk into the CB radio, and then every once in a while I'd hear static, and I go, he's talking to me, but he wasn't talking to me. But it's fun to go, breaker, 1-9, and that's what hello is.
Wait, just
breaker,
back to Haichu for 1 second. Mm-hmm. So they're still up and running. Everything's great over there.
You know what? They got over it. You know, we've all had our rubber glove fall into our vat. And we all have our statement and our apology and our firings, and we move on, and we offer the world our delicious wares. And we move on, and we move past it, and we'll talk about that later on.
You can put that in your yearbooks, you guys. That's a good yearbook quote.
It's part of my sermon.
We all have our rubber glove in the vat.
Yeah. Didn't Kavanaugh write that?
You know...
Okay. Do you have anything else?
I think we should move on to the personal questions, because we're warmed up, and, you know, we have a connection, it seems, me and
They love you. By the way, you're at Kazi David, correct?
Yeah.
You're just at Kazi David. Well... Are you on?
Don't look at my question.
Okay, but do me a favor. Go on Instagram right now. Okay.
Okay.
No, never mind.
No, what?
If you and I could go live right now, then everybody would see what your name was, and we could plug your people say I like her. Say they like.
Thank you.
Kazi did. Just follow Kazi.
So you can follow me if you want.
You had personal questions.
You'll be disappointed. Okay. Questions that we all want to ask John. No one's asked him, but we're going to ask him tonight on Current Mood.
Spicy questions, I'm sure.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you masturbate to your own music?
I don't think I've masturbated to any music, except when I was much younger and MTV was all there was for a young man. But I have never... In what world do you imagine that a man would masturbate to his own music?
I think if, like, their music was yours, like, that would maybe be something that... That was just the first one, you guys.
Oh, that was just dipping the toe in the water.
Here's a question.
Oh, we don't hear...
Let's dive in. Let's dive in.
Yeah.
Has a girl ever asked you to play your music while having sex with you?
No, but a girl has asked me to sing some of my song in probably the run-up to it.
Was it a specific song?
It wasn't even a specific girl. It wasn't a specific anything. You know, this is my early 20s, and people would come up and they would go, sing the song. And I probably did in my early 20s, you know? I probably used my music to hook up a couple of times. It doesn't make it any less from the heart. But yeah, there were probably times I went, what does this take from me?
You used your music a couple of times.
I used my music a couple of times.
Just a couple.
If it's after a show, and the girl's like, thinking about his one of the... You know what? What kind of guy? Do you want to be the kind of guy who goes, no? Or do you want to be the kind of guy who goes like, we got the afternoon? You want to play along. But no one's ever been like in the throes.
How many girls have asked you to tell them their body's a wonderland?
How many guys yell it to me all the time?
And then will you tell me after you answer that question?
Your body is a wonderland.
Thank you.
This fucking song of mine.
This song.
3.5 minutes at the age of 21.
Do you think if you named it something that wasn't Wonderland?
100%.
It was just the Wonderland, I think.
Let me explain this to you. When someone sits down and they're 20 years old and they're looking to write a hit song, in the mind of a 20-year-old, a hit song is like a hyper novelty song. It's almost like a Dr. Demento song, like My Ding-a-Ling. Like everyone's first song gets it a little bit wrong by like, this is going to take some real novelty. So like, I kissed a girl and I liked it. And Your Body is a Wonderland. And, I want to hold your hand. That doesn't
For the
work.
record, I don't think there's anything wrong with Your Body is a Wonderland.
Thank you. The same thing that makes it very direct and sort of piercing also makes it fun for drunk men to yell at me down a street.
A Body is a Wonderland. You didn't do this purposely, but it's a Drake tactic. It's like making things into memes so it goes viral and everyone knows about it. You did that with Wonderland.
Yeah, and I was pre-social media Drake.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're still quoting Wonderland.
Still quoting Wonderland, and I'm still trying to live it down. Although at this age, it's kind of fun now. I mean, I kind of embrace it. We all know I'm not the guy who wrote that song anymore.
Just seeing my name pop up on the screen.
Yeah. Oh, no, you're on. Okay, these questions are fabulous. Keep going.
Okay. Blink twice if you've slept with over 800 people. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Are you guys surprised?
I would like to know if people are surprised.
That's the next question. Yeah. Are you
surprised that I have slept with less
than
800 people? I think my fans know me. I think they kind of know me.
Okay, blink once if you've slept with over 500 people. I just want to... Okay, I think that's great.
Yeah. By the way,
impressive.
What does it say about my expectations? That if you find out that I've slept with less than 500, you're kind of impressed with me. You're like, he's a good guy. Anybody else who says that...
You could have done that and you didn't.
I could still be doing. There could be someone under this table right now. I choose not... That... Okay, can I be honest with you? That, and this might get me in a little trouble, but look where we are. That might put me into a little bit of a deeper understanding of what it's like to be a woman. In that... Yes, I could have sex with somebody at any given moment. I think there's a lot of guys who could too. But I think being a famous man is somewhat similar to being a beautiful woman.
Interesting.
Which means, yes, there is access. There's very seldom any desire. And the older I get, the less desirous I am of unsheathing new body parts.
Unsheathing new body parts, you guys. Please quote that.
That's what I am. That was actually going to be a bridge of Your Body is a Wonderland. May I please unsheath it, because I do bequeath it. If I can't get on top, I'll get underneath it.
Oh my God, that was great.
Thank you.
Okay, here's a question.
Okay.
Have you ever been rejected before?
Yes.
And can you just tell us a time that comes to mind that was... I think we'd all like to feel better. Like, I certainly would. They would.
Yes.
We'd like to hear about the one time.
The one time I get.
You were rejected.
Now I get rejected a lot. I get rejected a lot, and
What do you mean now? Like since you turned 41?
No, since I became just like PR poison for people. Like, I really have to make a direct connection with somebody because a John Mayer cold call, which I've never really made. I don't think that people are into the idea of like, hey, I snagged Mayer. So, like, I'll go to a party now. I used to go to parties.
Well, now that they know it, there's been less than 500 people.
Well, maybe the phone's going to start ringing off the hook now. He's sub 500. He's in the sub 500 gang. Maybe I should give him another shot. But I actually find that people not being into me brings a real level of reality into my life, where when I was in my early 20s, when I couldn't really miss... I really kind of abused that, and that's now out of the question. And I like, for instance, can I be honest with you? I'm going to tell you a real story.
Yeah, please.
I used to go into parties, and I used to feel really optimistic, like probably incorrectly optimistic, but walk in and be like,
Do you know what's interesting is that I hate parties because I don't feel special when I walk into a party.
You are special, but I know what you're talking about.
Like you've gone to a lot of parties where you feel special, and I've yet to enter a party and feel special.
After this show tonight, yeah, day and night. But I walked into a Oscar party like 2 years ago, and I found it like really freeing that I walked in and I saw a couple people. I'll be honest. I looked over at Scarlett Johansson, and for the first time in my life, I said to myself with the clearest of voices, "She wants nothing to do with you," and I found that really kind of relieving. And I went, "Yeah, leave everybody alone." And I had a great time at the party because because
you didn't bother Scarlett
I didn't bother anybody because I now know that by default most people aren't into me, and I don't even try, and I actually like that now.
So your rejection story is that you didn't and she didn't reject
the only time, I don't want to start naming names, but I not so long ago I gave a girl my number and she said I probably won't use it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. I actually think it's awesome too because I would have ruined her.
Do you want to know my rejection story?
Of someone rejecting you or you rejecting someone?
Someone rejecting me.
Yeah.
Every time I look at my phone, ever. Every time I look at my phone, I feel rejected.
What do you want to have
And I feel
happen?
like that's, like, life is now actually just waiting for people to contact you. Mm-hmm. And because every opportunity is an opportunity to text someone, every opportunity is a rejection.
So, do me a favor.
Is that fair?
Do
you guys feel like that?
People are laughing. They're saying same.
I know. I'm so relatable.
Same,
right?
Cassie, same. But I'll break into this a little more. So, if you could really hash out the vision you have of a world where you are accepted to the level of your expectation, is the phone blowing up constantly? Hi, Cassie. Hey, Cassie, what are you doing tonight? Cassie, you look great. Cassie, I love your Instagram. I loved your Instagram post so much I got to text you about it. A like and a comment isn't enough. So you got a thing. You got to get, you're sort of this is like the social media equivalent of like, you got to get punched in the face to come on this stuff. Mm-hmm. And you got to really get hit hard.
I don't know what that meant, you guys. But I'm trying my best.
How about yes and?
Yes, and...
Yes, and that's not funny.
No, I'm really just not quick enough to keep up.
Fair enough. Well, we've got
it brings in other things.
You know, I don't have a showrunner. I don't have someone doing this. I'm doing this to myself.
You don't need a showrunner.
Well,
You should be a showrunner. You know, you could really be... here's a question that's on my list of questions. I think you're just, like, amazing at improv.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Have you ever taken, like, a private improv class?
No.
Have you ever secretly taken an improv class?
No.
Do you secretly want to?
No, I don't want to take an improv class, but I not so secretly want to have a talk show.
Yeah, it's not a secret.
It's not a secret.
He's just, you can have one. You're just waiting to earn it. You're trying to earn it.
Thank you, by the way.
I think you've earned it, like, already.
Thank you.
Like, plenty.
Thank you.
But it's nice. You're really trying to earn it the hard way.
Would you like to stay here while I throw to the musical guest?
Yeah, I'll stay here.
Okay. Watch this. He goes, no! Watch this. This is how we do it. Oh, by the way, Cassie David, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm sorry.
People are going to be talking about this.
We didn't play music together.
Can I? Watch this. Watch this. My next guest is a fantastic writer, producer, engineer, songwriter, artist, performer. Here to perform his song, Cold War. It's the one and only Cautious Clay, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, there's something I want to tell you. We're not at my house. We're at the studio. Boom! Who wants to hold that for me?
Oh, actually, wait.
Does that put you in there? All right, here we go.
Oh, yeah,
All right.
What's up?
We good?
I'm Cautious Clay.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Yellow tinted lenses and a pink gelato. I'm falling out the window, hit me back tomorrow. We'll always be the ones off back to follow. 'Cause we aiming for the stars with a point and hollow. I'm feeling these songs, knocking jokes and carols. Started this job, Sunday rocks it out. Cause they only swipe right if you fuck for falls. Welcome to the days of the broken shallow. Oh, but if we just spoke like we've been said, it's like a broken promise. I'm in it for the monetary. But we divided at the bottom of this whiskey side. So leave it on the table if you hot and bothered. Tell you reference this open part of me. The minute I know the time I spent it being corrected in my anatomy. Oh, let's get started. But if we just spoke like we meant it, would you reference this open part of me? The minute I know the time we spent it came corrected in my anatomy. Oh, oh, oh. Thank you.
Yeah!
It's cautious. Cautious, but
How about that?
That was awesome.
So then we have to work this out. Then I got it backwards. So then that's the musical portion of the show. Then we flip this, and now we're back to the set part. And then Cautious Clay comes and joins me, where we have a musical conversation. I sit down, give it. You know what?
oh man,
While I was in the middle of doing that, I thought to myself, well, now this isn't a silly show anymore. Not to say that it was silly when Charlie was on last week, but So this is really great. Thank you for doing this.
Man, thank you for having me, dude.
We're
It's
is
amazing.
it giving away too much that we're here in the studio because we were working on some music together?
No, this is crazy that we're back here because I feel like it's been full circle.
We
you
wrote
know?
a we already
It's
wrote one.
really
We're doing
cool.
another one,
Yeah.
and I thought to myself, oh God, we have the show on Sunday, and you were really nice. I said, hey, do you mind doing the show so we could be in the studio and we could do the show?
Yeah,
and so
it's been crazy.
Thank you. By the way, you have great merchandise.
Yes,
you have great merch.
I do. We have,
You want to plug the site for merch?
oh yeah, it's cautiousclay.com. That's the site. Get the
Look at this
link.
merch.
It's
Look,
the
everyone,
white
get a
shirt.
look at this. Look at this cautious Clay merch. Look how incredible
It's the
this
plain
is.
white tee.
You know what?
It's the plain.
Sometimes
plain white tee.
the greatest ideas are just right under your nose the whole time. But I was thinking you put this on, and what a great song that is. Like we're meant to. Woo. So
I can't wait to do this.
this is really great stuff, man. Well, just gonna take a second to warm up, but we're wearing our Cautious Clay merch. So you just were on tour. You
Yeah.
came back from that.
Yep.
You have one of my favorite quotes, by the way. You said, because you're not signed, you're an unsigned artist, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm unsigned right now.
You have this great quote, and you don't know that I know this, but I looked it up, and it said, you're not the biggest topic in the world if you're not signed, but nowadays it's certainly possible to still make it big. It's a lot of work, but it's possible. That is really a salient, powerful statement on how the next generation, to me, your generation, looks at the music industry, which is that you're sort of stepping around it to go straight to people. Has that been fun to do it?
Yeah, man, it's been so it's because like for me, I have such a vision about like what I want to create and like everything that I'm putting together. So it's just been like so interesting to like figure out pieces of the puzzle as it goes. And like because I was an instrumentalist to begin with, like a flute and saxophone player, and then like shifting into like producing music, and then shifting into singing, and then shifting into writing, it's all come full circle into like what I feel is like the most important to my artistic vision.
It's
you
and
know?
the thing I said to you when we first met, I go, you have a song that just keeps getting bigger and bigger every week, and yet you're not burnt out. So my generation and every generation before, to have anywhere close to the song that you have bubbling under Cold War, I think a lot of people have heard the song and go, oh, that's who's behind Cold War. But a guy in your situation normally can't enjoy any of it because you're sleeping in the daytime because you're jet lagged and you're tucked in some airplane or some SUV. And it's really, really cool that you get to both see the world and enjoy your life and make music. Is there any amount of money that a label could give you and be like, I'll sign?
I mean, honestly, it's. I don't know. I don't think so right now.
Powerful,
it's just
dude.
like it's crazy because nowadays it's just like I've already built something this much on my own. So with like the small team that I have, and it's like you just want to ride it out and see where it goes.
Powerful. Hey, by the way, and I love seeing where it goes. And I think we were talking about this before. I just think it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every week, and that's why you've made me look cool by showing up, being on my show. If you guys thought it was just a bit that we just put on blank shirts, this is the merch. Oh yeah, man! Got myself that handheld printer. May I?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let me start it up.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Hold on, I got it. There it goes. Hold on. Then. Oh, there we go.
Oh, that came out.
Do me now. Hold it down.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's gonna fall.
Oh, it's gonna go backward.
Wait. Okay. And then push it.
Yep. Just push it. Hold the button down and just swipe it.
Oh wow, with this button?
Yeah, just hold it.
Holy shit, this is fucking crazy.
No, it's already down. You just have to. There you go.
Oh.
See?
Woo.
I think you got a little more
Yeah,
left.
one more.
There we go.
It's like you gotta do like
Yeah, it's good.
abs. You gotta like
Look at
fucking
it. Look at this. Look at this merchandise right now. That is some hot shit. Look at that. Can I do a
This
sleeve
is
print?
serious. You gotta do this the side, man. This is the look right now. Oh my
All right.
God.
I tried to.
Oh. Yeah.
Let me do one more.
You gonna do this?
Hold it really
Side?
tight. Hold it.
Yeah,
Let's see if that works.
Oh, what? Okay, there we
Do it
go.
one more time. Oh, yeah.
Boom.
I'm doing it myself.
Oh, the ink is kind of like...
It's hot. It's
you gotta,
burning.
You gotta air it. You gotta air it out.
It's getting hot. It's.
You gotta air it out.
Should it be this hot? Should the ink be this hot? Well, what a great show.
Oh man,
Unbelievable.
thank you.
Where are you off to next?
So I'm actually going to Europe. I'm going to play at Pitchfork Festival in Paris, and then I'm going to Amsterdam, Paradiso, and then I'm doing a Tiny Desk in a couple days.
I don't think Tiny Desk is very happy about what we've just done. I don't think they're going to be super psyched. I think there's someone from NPR watching right now, and they're going, "Oh my God!" Someone's pouring honey into tea, and all the honey's just like pouring over the edge of the tea, and they're going like this, like he just did the Tiny Desk. Oh, you're going to get smaller. The Tiny Desk will be even smaller than this, right? Uh-oh.
Yeah. No, it's.
Sorry, your manager. Will you get the flute? Can someone hand the flute?
Yeah.
Because this is time to sign off. This is the part of the show where I send you into your week with love and understanding.
Perfect. This little guy.
Yeah. Play something, it's a flute. It's a flute. What are you going to do? You're going to metal on it?
You could
It's a
just
flute.
do some Ron Burgundy
Just
shit.
play anything on a flute, but also really soft. Also like love, like pensive.
Yeah,
pensive.
it's
Is there anything really
serious.
Really, yeah, real. What do you
Just
call it?
just something like. Oh.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really? Okay. Does the flute get quieter than that?
No, it's a loud instrument.
Oh.
It's a loud instrument. So
Well,
that's how it goes.
I think we all learned a lot about brass. It's a woodwind?
It's technically a woodwind.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's technically a woodwind.
So I just want to say that Tuesday will mark the second year of my not having a drink. And I say not having a drink because I'm not sure if I want to use the word sobriety. And I think that the language around drinking is very tricky and people don't like locking themselves in a certain language. So I will say that come Tuesday, it will have been 2 years since I had anything to drink. And those 2 years have been really, really great. Drinking and not drinking is a very personal thing to each person. It is wired into your particular psychology and your history. And I can only tell you in the first person who I was, what I did, how it's made my life better. I don't think you have to wait until everything is lost to stop. If you're doing a little bit more than you wanted to, it's always a good decision to do none of it. So I just want to be an example of somebody who said, that's enough. And I don't know that there's enough examples of people saying, I just had enough. So if you feel like some people are doing Sober October, well, in some ways, you're out. And you might want to think about staying out. Look at it like this. Your kidnapper sent you to the store with some money and you're free. You don't have to come back to the house of the kidnapper to bring the loaf of bread and the change. You just keep running. So if you're in the Sober October, think about staying out. The next time the ladder appears in front of you to climb out of the hamster wheel of drinking, if you're getting tired of it, take it. I climbed out. I've had a great time. I haven't turned into a bore. I have 2 more minutes. It'll be a real bore. But I want to be an example of someone who went, that's enough. We're out there. It's easy to do. Well, for me, it was easy to do. 3-4 weeks, you don't feel it anymore. That's what I'm saying. If you're in Sober October and you're going into week 3 and you're not itching to do it, maybe stay out. I want to thank all my friends. I want to thank Cautious Clay. I want to thank Kazzy David. I want to thank Pino Palladino. I want to thank Aaron Sterling. Chad Franskowiak is going to mix the audio. You'll get it very soon. I want to thank you all very much. Thank you for the birthday love this week. That felt great. And we will see you again next week. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Kick this week's ass. I'm John Mayer. These will all be available now on the Cautious Clay web store. We've got about 6,000 more to print, so we're not going to sleep tonight, all-nighter, but we love the guy. Thank you very much.